know him from the best talk show on the air. Stop the madness, keep it 100. Now, catch him Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 p.m. on the all-new STMK Radio 100. It's the Saxman Show. Come join the law enforcement extraordinaire, the Saxman.
This is Christina in Savannah. I listen to STMK Radio 100 on my way home from work. Every Thursday, they keep it 100.
You're listening to STMK Radio 100.
STMK Radio 100, the podcasting station that brings you the Stop the Madness, Keep It 100 radio talk show that keeps it real, no sugar. STMK Radio 100 also presents At the Table with Reverend Bill Miller Show. Check out Brother Bill's Bible Study radio broadcast here on STMK Radio 100 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central. STMK Radio 100 does USTREAM Live TV, FaceTime, phone interviews, chat rooms, the new emerging artist show, sports talk, dance music shows, book reading shows, and much more coming very soon right here on STMK Radio 100. Contact us. Visit our website at stmkradio100.com or email us directly at stmkradio100@aol.com. Give us a call at 1-866-484-7865. That's 1-866-484-STMK. Call us now. STMK Radio 100.
Women like me aren't supposed to run for office. I wasn't born to a wealthy or powerful family. Mother from Puerto Rico, dad from the South Bronx. I was born in a place where your zip code determines your destiny. My name is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I'm an educator, an organizer, a working-class New Yorker. I've worked with expectant mothers, I've waited tables and led classrooms. And going into politics wasn't in the plan. But after 20 years of the same representation, we have to ask, who has New York been changing for? Every day gets harder for working families like mine to get by. The rent gets higher, healthcare covers less, and our income stays the same. It's clear that these changes haven't been for us, and we deserve a champion. It's time to fight for a New York that working families can afford. That's why I'm running for Congress. This race is about people versus money. We've got people, they've got money. It's time we acknowledge that not all Democrats are the same. That a Democrat who takes corporate money, profits our foreclosure, doesn't live here, doesn't send his kids to our schools, doesn't drink our water or breathe our air, cannot possibly represent us. What the Bronx and Queens needs is Medicare for all, tuition-free public college, a federal jobs guarantee, and criminal justice reform. We can do it now. It doesn't take 100 years to do this. It takes political courage. A New York for the many is possible. It's time for one of us. Vote for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Remember how the economic crash was supposed to be a wake-up call for our government? People all across the country lost their savings, their pensions, and their jobs. I'm Tom Steyer, and it turned out that the system that had benefited people like me who were well off was in fact stacked against everyone else. It's why I left my investment firm and resolved to use my savings for the public good. But here we are 9 years later, and this president and the Republican Congress are making a bad situation even worse. They won't tell you that their so-called tax reform plan is really for the wealthy and big corporations while hurting the middle class. It blows up the deficit, and that means fewer investments in education, healthcare, and job creation. It's up to all of us to stand up to this president, not just for impeachable offenses, but also to demand a country where everyone has a real chance to succeed. Join us. Your voice matters.
STMK Radio 100. You're listening to Stop the Madness, Keep It 100 with your hosts, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone on STMK Radio 100.
Yes, this is a PSA, a public street announcement. You are now listening to a Kickback production. Light up your L's, lean back, and listen.
It's not that we don't know that we have a problem. We've known it for years. It's not that we don't know what the solutions are. We've known those for years. The problem is we haven't done anything about it.
Today was a criminal complaint against police officers in East Cleveland.
And prior to that is that I had sent a public records request over for the police officers who were involved in the high-speed chase. Turn that over to the FBI. Is working in East Cleveland and also without OPATA certifications. But East Cleveland has demonstrated, number one, that no one in the leadership of the city government, the mayor, the council, the prosecuting attorney, the judge, the chief of police are responsible enough to manage a law enforcement agency.
It's not that we don't know that we have a problem. We've known it for years. It's not that we don't know what the solutions are. We've known those for years. The problem is we haven't done anything about it.
Residents have already gathered the necessary signatures on a petition to disband the East Cleveland Police.
Hey, good evening and welcome to Stop the Madness. Keep it 100 on a free fall Thursday. Facebook Live, YouTube, Snapchat, and our 34 cities. We want to welcome y'all all here today. Today, we're going to have a wild show right here. Sax Man, what's up with you?
What's up there, Sean? Sean.
Hey, we got a gentleman on the phone, and he wants to set the record straight. He's a community activist.
Okay.
He's going to tell us what's really going on. We got some stuff for him. On the phone with us today, we have JUSTYN Anderson.
He's one of the two people who pulled the petition to disband the East Cleveland Police Department. The last 2 weeks we had on Mrs. Crenshaw, and she was the young lady who filed the criminal complaint with the Cuyahoga County courts to have East Cleveland police officer arrested for not having their continuous professional training up to date and violating people's rights in the city of East Cleveland by going out making arrests when they wasn't certified to do so. Then we had the ex-mayor, Eric Jonathan Brewer.
Right.
And he stated how all this came about. But Justin feels that those last two shows didn't put the proper information out, and he's here to correct it. So on the telephone with us tonight, we got Justin Anderson. Justin, you there with us?
That's the IT guy messing up again.
Oh, Lord.
Not again, child. That's the
Justin,
IT dude.
Justin, you with us tonight?
Boy, that IT guy need to go on vacation.
Well, you know what? Justin's there. Let me see what's going on with him. Justin, are you with us? I guess we don't have Justin on the line with us. Anyway, right there.
What happened?
Let us try to get Justin on the line. I don't know what happened with his phone. Let me see if we can get him back on the phone again. I think that he hung up on us.
Now, why would he do that?
I don't have no clue, Sax. Man, you know what the IT guy said. The IT guy said it wasn't him, so let's go see if we can get Justin back on the phone with us again. So when they came on the line with us, and I think we got him with us, Justin Anderson, are you there with us? Hello?
Come on. Come on, man. Come on back to us. Come to the light.
Justin, are you with us? For some reason, Justin ain't with us, so I don't know what's going on with the phone.
Is it his phone, or is it our computers? Was it our,
I don't know.
Our phone lines?
I couldn't tell you right there.
Is it a gremlin somewhere around here?
Because he's with us. Let me find out. Let me go and call him personally. Take it, Sax, man.
All right.
Yeah, Justin, how you doing? You with us? Oh, you can hear. Oh. Okay, hold on. Talk, Sax, man. Talk.
Okay, hold on 1 second, because we're going to have to put you through so that our audience can be able to hear you.
Can you hear us now, Justin?
Uh-oh. You know, this is what happens to even to the big radio shows like WABQ and Tom joining them. This can happen to them too. So don't worry, everybody. We're gonna get it together.
Yeah, he'll get it together.
We're gonna have to put an ad in the paper for a new IT
guy. That's what it is.
Do that, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go have to do something else.
Tone the Stone just walked in the studio.
Right there, Justin Anderson. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Okay. Give us a minute and let us get it right here. Go ahead and start. Justin, tell us what's going on with East Cleveland.
Basically, what's going on is I was at a council meeting, and Officer Larry McDonald had came up in front of the council to introduce himself and let everyone know that he would be a new community police officer. He also goes by the name of Pac-Man. So I was live streaming him talking, and while he was talking, it created an uproar with the citizens. And you had people coming on the live video saying, oh, no, he's coming back. Oh, my gosh, I'm not coming to East Cleveland. Now, I had females come on saying, oh, he pulls me over every time he sees me because I won't give him any you-know-what. Or another female said, oh, he pulls me over because I wouldn't let him grab my breast. And there was just all these sexual allegations and all these inappropriate things people were saying about him. So that's what first raised the issue about him. So I immediately said, well, wow, let me pull his records and try to find out a little bit more about this guy. And after talking to people, citizens and residents, I found out that one, he goes by the name of Pac-Man. Two, he's a bully out here, and he's just a hot mess. So
When you say bully, what you mean by bully?
Meaning that he lets it be known who he is. He tries to, I believe he abuses his authority, you know, and for all the way from intimidation, all of that stuff. But so I contacted Cleveland because I found out he worked with Cleveland, and I made a public records request. Now, they tried their hardest not to give me this request. It took 70 days for me to get the request.
and I had to call up there every other day. I literally called every other day until they gave me my request. But it let me know that something was in those files that they didn't want people to see.
Did you find out what was in the files?
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of crazy things in the files, all the way from people complaints, like I just told you, women complaining about him, sexual allegations, things like that. And most importantly, come to find out, I strongly believe that they terminated, well, he resigned because they found out that he was out of compliance with the administrative code.
Okay, well, let me ask you this question before we even get into the administrative code right there. Who put the petition to disband East Cleveland Police Department with you?
Well, me and my friend Juanita Gowdy, we put a petition to disband the East Cleveland Police Department. There were a number of things that made me do that, and one of the major things was because a lot of our elected officials in East Cleveland misuse their powers, and what the last turning point was when I was at the East Cleveland Civic Center and a catastrophe had happened in the city, and Michael Schmetley, the chief of staff of East Cleveland, rode up to the Civic Center and just hopped out of his car like Batman, and he started to say, "Oh, I heard you guys down here causing trouble, blah, blah, blah," and he started to threaten us with the police department. And that's what pretty much was the last turning point as far as pulling the petitions with the for the police to disband the police department.
Okay, now with that petition, how many signatures do you need to get it on the ballot?
Well, we need 10% of the total amount of people who voted in the last the last general election, I believe, and we feel confident that we have enough signatures, but right now we're just gathering extra signatures.
Okay, but so you haven't got all the signatures. Oh, you have enough signatures, so you're getting extra signatures before you submit it.
I want to feel a little bit more comfortable, but I'm still hesitating on turning them in because, I mean, I'm still doing research, and I mean, I heard you guys talking last week and heard some of the concerns you all had, and some of those concerns are maybe now some of my concerns. So,
yeah, because some of our concerns is based on if you disband the department, you know, what's going to happen to the city?
And so that's the thing. Originally, we believed that the sheriffs will come in to take over the department, but after doing more research, that might be a problem. You know, we don't know if they have the capability of patrolling and handling the city of East Cleveland. So it's still a lot of thoughts going on with that, but as of right now, we still are going to be submitting petitions to disband the East Cleveland Police Department.
Okay, so you're going to submit the petition. Now you haven't submitted the petition, but you have the signatures. Have the deadline passed for you to submit the signatures for the November 6th?
East Cleveland's charter is so old, and our elected officials don't seem to be trying to update it. That as of right now, our charter states we have 180 days.
Okay.
So we got time.
So let's go right into that, because you brought up concerns that we had that we've been talking about it. So we really want to go into that. You told us a little bit about Larry McDonald. First thing is, have you and the other parties or the other activists in the city, have y'all actually sit down and discussed what you're doing?
Yeah, so another major organization in the city, we have sat down and they're willing to help out with these little bit of extra signatures, things like that. So yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about the signatures. I'm talking about actually thinking about one, that you got a petition to disband a major urban police department. Okay, so when you disband the police department, just give me a minute here so you can understand what I'm asking you. So when you disband the police department, you have to have a plan for who's going to fill those shoes, what's going to happen on these appeals. Are you putting murderers back on the city streets in the city of East Cleveland? Because as we said earlier, in the thing that Michael Madison, East Cleveland serial killer, at least 3 officers that is on Miss Crenshaw's list was arrested by him, and they served search warrants on his residence where they found the body at. And we've been talking to lawyers, okay? So if those officers are deemed to put in a illegal search warrant, it's a possibility that that body they found in his apartment will be inadmissible in a second trial. So did y'all think about any of that?
Well, here's the thing. We've voted in mayors and council people, and the mayor, and we got chiefs of police, and if they were irresponsible and they weren't up on their training or whatever, then all I can tell you is that whatever happens, happens.
That's not good.
That's tough, you know. I mean, it's tough to talk about that, but I mean, I don't want anyone who has raped anyone or murdered someone or committed severe crimes like that on the streets. I don't want anyone like that on the streets. But if they weren't in compliance, then I don't really want to speak much on that, but I'll let that process play out however it plays out. But
okay, so we understand that. So the question I want to ask you too is that we had Eric Jonathan Brewer on the air with us last week, and there's a lot of questions about East Cleveland, and everybody has 1,001 consequences what could happen. Okay, some people haven't thought about what could happen. Some people don't care what can happen. And a classic example is a statement you just made earlier. You know, you whatever happens is going to happen, and everybody feels that way. But there's a thing about people who can't help themselves, okay? And your community is 17,000 people. Over half of them, or even 2/3 of them, are living below the poverty level, okay? And I don't think their education is to the level that it should be, because if they came out and vote and took their responsibility, we probably wouldn't have that problem in East Cleveland, okay? And there's a lot of crime in East Cleveland. As you said, the Sheriff Department, matter of fact, let me get that statement from the Sheriff Department. Hold on right here. The Sheriff Department is saying that East Cleveland Police Department is close to a 100-man operation, okay? And they can supply support for that operation, but it's going to take some planning to actually take over that operation. So are you and the other person that sat down, because y'all the one with the permit and that's going to put it back in, are y'all going to submit that petition before the 180-day deadline?
Oh, absolutely. Right, as of right now, yes.
Okay. So where do you think, with the voting in East Cleveland, and we've been following it, and plus with the recalls, okay, where do you think the last time the voters in the city of East Cleveland was asked to choose between the police and something, I think it was the red light cameras, and they became the only city in America to vote in the red light cameras. So where do you think you stand at right now?
Well, see, here's the thing. They were tricked then. And we also put a petition to get rid of these speeding cameras once again. So not only do we have a petition to disband the East Cleveland Police Department, we have circulated a petition to get rid of the speeding cameras, and it's going to be a charter change, and we want to change our charter similar to what Cleveland did.
Okay.
So the thing is, they were tricked before, and they said, if you vote the cameras down, we won't have police. And a part of this process was that if you vote these cameras down and vote to disband our police department, we can actually bring in the sheriff, so we don't have to deal with those lies about us not having police
Okay,
anymore.
the sheriff department has gave us everything. First of all, the city of East Cleveland would have to pay for police service for the sheriff department. Okay,
yeah,
that's one thing. Local mayors and council will lose control over enforcement. So that's the second thing. That's a good thing. That could be a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, you know, they will lose control. But my question is that the sheriff department is saying that they're not properly equipped to come in and run a day-to-day 24-hour operation. That's going to take time to put in place. They're not saying they can't do it, but they're saying that as of November 6th, at 12:01, if the citizens of East Cleveland vote their police department out at 12:01, that police department ceased to exist. So have you talked to public officials, and this is what I'm trying to find out, like through the NAACP, have people start having public hearings on this so the public can be well informed and educated about what's going on, so they can have their elected leaders start putting plans in place so if the police department is voted out.
So here's the thing. We are in the process of talking with elected officials and different organizations about this, but the city of East Cleveland has a $3 million budget for their police department. I believe that that's more than enough for us to be serviced every year. Right now, I believe that some of the funds are being mismanaged, so it looks as if that's not enough, but I believe it's more than enough. So, yeah, I'm in conversation with people about that.
Okay, so, and the second thing with the red lights, if you take that revenue away from the city, is there enough revenue to replace whatever the red light is producing right now?
So let me put this out there. The city of East Cleveland has collected, I believe, over $400,000 this year from red light cameras. And my problem is that, well, just to let you know, 90% of the tickets come from people outside of East Cleveland. So it's really not hurting our residents much. But my thing is this. We have ways of bringing in revenue, but our administration, they're mismanaging the funds. So we've collected a lot of money for the cameras, and they've mismanaged the funds. So if you ask me, it doesn't matter if we were collecting triple of what we're getting now for the cameras. They're mismanaging the funds, so it doesn't matter. And we have spent, just an example of how they mismanaged the funds. The city of East Cleveland, take a wild guess how much you think we've spent in the month of June on cutting grass.
Well, first of all, going through the city, they ain't cut no grass. So I mean,
okay, so that's the thing. So that's the thing.
So if they say they cut grass, come on. Right.
Brandon King's campaign manager, we paid him out $22,000 to cut grass around the city.
And I looked at that. I looked at that permit, and I wanted to bring that back to you too, because that's something I want to ask about the activists. See,
and also since 2015, a few months before Mayor King took office, after the recall, we have paid out a little under $250,000 to cut grass.
So this is the thing that I really want to know. How come the activists are not recalling everybody in city government? I mean, you went through 5 different recalls. Norton, Tommy Willard. You got the third man. I mean, you knew that when you recalled the first 2, the third man, their right-hand man, was going to step in the seat. I mean, you got a clean house.
Well, from my experience with campaigning, there's a process. You don't just wake up and say, oh, well, it's time for him to go. So for one thing is we have to get this information out to the public. For 2, we have to be well organized. And those are some things that some of the residents are working on. You know, I strongly believe we have to clean the house. But right now it's going to be hard. You know, you have to organize. You have to have things in order. It's a process. And the first step will be to get all this information out. I mean, most residents don't know that we spent almost $250,000 to cut grass, and they have no evidence that they cut grass. And these are to people of the mayor's buddies. So, like I said, it's not about us losing revenue from the cameras and this and that. It's about we're not using the money the proper way in the first place.
The malfeasance
so
of it.
Matter.
Now, also, there was a issue of a $400,000 contract through the schools. Is that what the police? They had the police officers involved in that also. Yeah.
So back to Larry McDonald. He's probably the worst officer I've ever encountered. For one, he gives me the middle finger every time he sees me, but I take that as a hello sign, so that's fine. But in his files are some of the most disgusting things ever, and some of the comments these residents make about him. Now, everybody's saying negative things. Some of it's got to be true. Everyone's not lying on you. But back to McDonald. McDonald has a $405,000 contract with the City of East Cleveland School District to provide security service. And after a lot of research, he's not even associated with the company. that they have the contract with, and he signed off on the contract, and it's just, I mean,
whose company is it?
It's some Winanowski or some guy named George Winanowski. I can't pronounce his name, but right now, but it's not McDonald's, and he's not an associate with the company, and he signed off on a contract as if it was his company.
Okay, so did y'all take this? Have y'all contacted the ethics of the process?
Absolutely.
Okay, because this sounds like personal contracts being signed by best friends, and and there seems to be some ethical problems, even signing a contract with the mayor's campaign manager, giving him all that money to cut grass when you can see in the city that nobody's actually cutting the grass.
Right.
So let me ask you this question, Justin, because Eric Jonathan Brewer has clearly said that the city of East Cleveland is ineffective and they should be taken over, and the city should be either merged or just completely wiped out. What's your thought about that?
No, so most people do say that, but if you ask, so East Cleveland, they stopped giving me records, and they're trying to charge me large amounts for these records, sometimes 15 cents a copy, security deposits. So what happens is I've been pulling records from everywhere in East Cleveland, and I've been finding out information that is just like, this needs to go to the FBI. So once I've been making a big deal out of this stuff, now they're trying to overcharge me so I won't get the records, which, I mean, I'm not going to pay $50 for, 40, 50 sheets of paper or whatever it is. So they're doing that, and I don't believe we need to merge. What we need is honest politicians, honest city leaders to just do their job that they're elected to do. If we would stop these games, if we would stop doing things like paying $250,000 out to my campaign manager to cut some grass that you have no proof that they're even cutting, then we can actually do a lot better as a city. So what I found in all these records that I've been pulling is that there's a mismanagement of funds. There are developers who want to come into East Cleveland,
yes,
and the administration make it as hard as possible for the developers to come in.
Also, the developers, wait a minute, not to cut you off on that, because we was with some developers about 3, maybe 4 shows ago. They talked with us. The developers do want to come into East Cleveland, but also they want a stable city government. So if they do invest their money won't be thrown away, because they have a problem with some of the activists. And this is what I want to bring up to you also. When last week, Jonathan Brewer told us that all this began, Saxman, correct me if I'm wrong, this your boy, all this began after a high-speed chase.
My boy, there you go.
Well, yeah, I'm going to say it, because he is. I'm his kryptonite, so he don't want to deal with me.
That's Tone, the smoking boy.
So let me...
to the mic, Sean, for me, please.
Huh? So let me ask you this question. When you was looking at this, there's a lot of conspiracy theories going on. So I'm going to ask you, because we're in the chat room right now, and they asked me in the chat room. So I'm going to ask you a question from the chat room. One, you have nothing to do with Eric Jonathan Brewer's hatred for the police department or his fight against the police department. This is totally separate, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And number 2, this has nothing to do with any arrest or anything that happened in the city.
No, so it has something to do with some arrests, but probably not the arrest you're referring to. So I've been watching McDonald because I'm out in the community a lot, and I've been watching McDonald, and it seemed, and while I'm watching him and I see him make a arrest, it shows that he's not being trained properly to make certain arrests,
Okay, yeah, because
one incident I've seen McDonald.
We have got documentation that hasn't been verified yet.
One arrest I've seen McDonald is he put his car up like he was a speed racer. He hopped out of the car, and he just was totally inappropriate for what he did. He put his car in front of another car and just did some. I really don't want to talk about it on the air, but he did some crazy stuff. And I got the footage of it, and it's been turned over to the FBI.
This is open forum. You can talk about anything.
But
I know, but there's some McDonald's action speaks for itself. It's clear as day that he's not taking any training.
Okay, but could it be? Well, let's see. I want to ask this question to everybody right here, because somebody asked this in the chat room too. So I'm going to go back for a minute, because we got our law enforcement officers here and anything too. You said a police officer doing something in performance of his duties. Okay, could it be that you're misconstruing whether it's training or not, or you just don't think that he should have done it the way he done it?
No, it's not about that. Common sense tells me that something's not right.
Okay, so you're looking at it from a layman's point of view, though, correct?
Pretty much.
Okay, but see, the reason I asked that because law enforcement officers are trained to do certain things in certain situations, and then also certain things come naturally to them in the performance of the duty, because training is just a guide to put them in a position so if something happens, they can revert back to their training.
And he was also
or they do
trained,
the training.
He was also trained in Cleveland Police Academy, so he got some training.
Right.
They're
so
not going to graduate you.
Well, we're not going to talk about what he got, because he's an individual, Saxman.
I believe that he didn't get the full and proper training.
Okay, so I understand it. So let me ask you this question right here, Justin.
Also to throw out there, I actually got an email from the Opata office, and January of 2018, the East Cleveland Police Department sent down a roster to them. And you know the roster where you tell everybody if they're certified or not?
Yeah.
You tell Opata if the officers are certified or
yes,
not?
we got.
You want me to email you on that roster, the city of East Cleveland, and I just found it through an email that was sent to me a few weeks ago, and the city of East Cleveland stated that Officer McDonald was not certified, and now they're turning around saying that yes. So I could email you guys that the roster that they sent January of 2018, clearly East Cleveland said that Officer McDonald was not certified.
Yeah, we'd like for you to email that to us. Definitely. Email it to STMK Radio 100 at AOL.com, because we got some stuff that was sent in to us too that we haven't verified. But if you have one that was sent to you from the state of Ohio, we'd love to see that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because this is the situation that the state is in right now on the administrative code. That Mrs. Crenshaw has done some of the wonderful work that somebody can put down as an activist, and the community of East Cleveland really need to commend her, and because she's really doing great work.
Well, we have loopholes out there. We got a lot of.
You have what again?
Well, Miss Crenshaw is doing a lot of work, and she's exposing these open doors and these loopholes that the system has. You know.
Right.
And she's done a great job, and like I told her, you know, after I reached out to her, like I told everyone, I wouldn't care if someone's doing this because of this or that. The thing is, we've noticed something that is wrong, and we need to focus on that issue and fix it.
Let me ask you this from the chat room. They also asked in here from the city of Savannah, Christina in the chat room. Welcome, Christina. Have you went to your congresswoman and the district, what's that, District 8?
Yeah.
Have you went to them and stressed your concerns to have them start asking the questions from the state, from the Senate, State House?
Well, let me tell you something. I think Marcia Fudge does a great job at voting on things up in Washington. But when it comes to communication, to me, it's horrible. So going to the Congresswoman Marcia Fudge is like going to a brick wall.
But
I do think she does a great job in Washington as far as what she votes on. As far as communication, is she backs that.
Right. So since you're not getting any justification from anybody here, the citizens of East Cleveland, you got enough signatures. You said 10% of them, they have stood up. You're going to put that on the ballot, and then you're going to end this nightmare for them?
Well, I certainly hope so. And like I said, the residents, at the end of the day, the residents will decide what they want. You know, me going door to door, I've banged on these doors in East Cleveland. I've banged on every door almost 3 times already this year. So I talk with the residents, and they do not like our police department.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Wait a minute, hold on there, right? Justin, hold on for 1 minute. That's right where I wanted to go right there. What is the feelings of the residents of the city of East Cleveland about their protectors?
Excuse me?
What is the feelings that the city of residents have about their police department? Can you tell us that?
A lot of people say, a lot of seniors say, oh my, Okay, for instance, one lady had a naked man. He was high on her drugs. He was on her porch. She called the police. They showed up an hour later. That's the biggest issue, is that they don't show up. And then when they do show up is hours later, so that's the main issue, their response time. But if you let them tell it, they have one of the fastest response time in the county. And that's a major concern for our residents. Also, their behavior is just out of control. I mean, they fly up and down the street with no sirens on. And, I mean, they just do a lot of crazy things that it's clear as they shouldn't be done. And then, like Officer Marche, I put a video up on Facebook of him and Bradnaugh drunk with a pistol, and then they had to bust the windows out, and they got 30,000 views, and it over a matter of a couple of days. But and you should see some of the comments on it. I mean,
well, yeah, we went to the East Cleveland page. Matter of fact, I wanted to ask you about that. On their official city Facebook page, we see some posts where they attacked you on some of the things you put on their homepage, that they came and actually attacked you. The officers did.
Yeah. So I've commented, East Cleveland puts up posts, and I comment on it, and we have some officers like Larry McDonald telling me I need to go and do something constructive. Well, Officer McDonald, if you're out of compliance, or if you're around here running around like Superman, if you're running around here like a bully, and if you are like Officer Lundy, who, excuse my language, but telling women to play with their titties and their other body parts for extra food, and if you're Officer Marche, who is drunk at Bradnaugh, I think it's constructive for me to let people know how dangerous you guys are in your misconduct, so we could get you off the streets and make East Cleveland safer, because East Cleveland is more unsafe with them.
So, Tom, what you think about that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we hear you.
What I think about what
he's saying?
His cause. I mean, his cause is right. He's got the right cause. I just feel like, if it's a waste of time. You're doing the right thing in essence. And I'm sorry, I don't recall your name. You're doing the right thing in essence. I just feel like if it's, the city of East Cleveland, as far as I'm concerned, their police department is already effectively null and void, all but null and void, I should say. So, I understand you want to get the officers that's out of compliance, in compliance, or either or. As far as disbanding the police department, I think, it's an effort that may not even be worth the time and energy you have to put into it. That's my thoughts.
Okay, so here's the thing, and I want everybody to know this. So for so long, East Cleveland has been known as this poor old city who just can't make it on its own. But after me pulling records, I find that that's not really the major issue, if you ask me. The issue is that we have elected officials who are mismanaging funds, who are doing illegal crap, who are giving contracts to their buddies. Timothy Austin, he's a councilman at large in East Cleveland. Me and him have a hearing at the Board of Elections this Monday, because I found a complaint against him because he was voting from somewhere he wasn't even living in our city, and he admitted it at a council meeting that he was doing that. So we got a hearing Monday at the Board of Elections
to discuss that.
But what we have in East Cleveland are just a bunch of elected officials and employees who are just doing all this corrupt and crazy stuff. So the thing is, we have to get rid of them if we want to make East Cleveland a better place.
Right. You have to clean house. So basically, East Cleveland's problem, and you are the first person that said this, okay? The basic problem in the city of East Cleveland is the mismanagement of the government itself.
Yes.
So, Justin, if you would like to say this on the air, can you tell us, I don't know if you said it earlier because we was having problems with the phones and it's kicking out. Who assisted you with pulling those petitions?
Excuse me, who was what?
Who assisted you with getting the petitions pulled and circulated?
Oh, her name is Juanita Gowdy.
Okay.
And we worked together, and we pulled the petitions, and as of right now, we're going to turn them in as soon as we feel comfortable. And I heard you all on the radio a few weeks ago saying that we're going to. It may not even be on the November ballot. We may be going to a special election.
Right. That was the question that we was asking, because the the Board of Education gave us a certain date for them to make the ballot, and that's what I was asking you about that. Yeah, if you saying you have 180 days by the East Cleveland Charter, then East Cleveland will have to set up a special election if you went past the general election date. That's why we was asking you about that. So my question is that you got Big Walt there, you got Mariah Crenshaw. You got a lot of great activists and all of y'all sitting down there. So once you get the petition to disband the police department, are you going to think about removing the incompetent city officials?
Yeah, are we going to think about what?
Removing the incompetent city officials, recalls.
Yeah, so there's a process to that, and I really, if I tell you this, if they keep doing what they're doing now, yes, we will push for a recall.
Because the last recall, okay, they went after Norton, they went after Tommy, but they left the mayor that's there now. Okay, so if you're not going to clean house, Nathaniel Martin he's the council president, correct?
No, Joey Graham is the council.
Okay. See that. I'm glad of that because he would be next in line. And that's like.
Yeah. So when it comes to recalls, I know the guy who led the last recall campaign, and he was successful at it. Me and him are great friends, and I know what it takes to win a recall. There's a process, like I told you. So you just wait, and should be interesting here in the near future.
So are you getting the young people involved with you in the community to get them out there?
I'm 26, so I interact with a lot of young people. There are some young people I have involved in this, and we'll be all right. Just to let you know, we'll be all right.
Now, the people in the chat room want to know, can you tell us what Eric Jonathan Brewer's role is in all this?
I know Eric posts a lot of stuff on Facebook. I really don't have a personal relationship with him.
Okay.
But I know he posts a lot of things on Facebook. I know Mariah has a personal relationship with him, and I have a personal relationship with Mariah. So, I don't think it's a major role,
Okay.
Of course, we know he's knowledgeable, very knowledgeable, but sometimes he might be a little excited or something. I don't know where it gets out of him, but I don't think his role is that big, and I will honestly say, I started this investigation, but Mariah has took it to heights where I don't think I would have been able to take it to, so I started the investigation, but Mariah has took it above and beyond what I ever expected it to go. And she's the one who's pretty much done most of the work, so with that being said, but okay.
Well, Jason, right there, let me before we end this part right here in your interview, is there anything right now you're talking to 34 cities and you're talking to a lot of people on Facebook, YouTube, a lot of people listening to you out there, probably close to about 80,000 people. Is there anything you want to say to the people of the city of East Cleveland right now so they can get behind you or so they can be educated about what you're doing and why you're doing it?
Well, I want to say that when it comes to East Cleveland, our ancestors have died. They got spit on, beat, for us to do things like petition our government, for us to vote, and a number of other things. And pretty much not to be afraid, East Cleveland residents, if you're hearing this, don't be afraid to join us with this movement, and it's called Operation Backdoor. East Cleveland isn't letting us in the front door, so we're going to go through the back door, and we're going to find all this illegal, crazy things that they're doing, and we're going to expose it, and then we're going to slowly take the power away. We're going to recall and do whatever else we need to do. So all I can say is to the East Cleveland residents, don't be afraid. Help us in this fight. And if we had elected officials who were honest, trustworthy, and just doing their job and who really cared about the people, we would be all right. We wouldn't be doing this. But we still have the same old corrupt elected officials in East Cleveland. And I'm sorry to say it, but I won't stop until we get rid of them.
Well, you know what, man? As far in my humble opinion, it'll be a cold day in hell before you find an honest politician. But I guess all y'all need is better checks and balances.
You can always start with you, Tone.
Yeah, if I ever become a politician, I'll be the first one.
Tone,
I'll be the first
Tone
honest
be the
one.
first one to be the honest politician.
I'll be the first honest one.
Well, Jason, we like to thank.
Thank you all for having me on the show,
Hey.
and I believe I'm about to lose connection
Hey,
soon. So
we thank you for being with us.
you guys.
Okay, thank you, Jason. We thank you for being with us on Stop the Madness, Keep It 100. Right there, that was Jason, JUSTYN Anderson, that pulled the petitions to disband the East Cleveland Police Department. And Sax, man, you know, that was very serious right there, what he was talking about. And we really going to have to understand where he's going, because this is part 3 of our East Cleveland series, okay? And we're going to have some more, because this is affecting everybody in the region here, okay? We're going to have to get Big Walt into our studio, because I really want to get Big Walt back on the air with us, Sax, man, because I want to know what he think about the East Cleveland Police Department being disbanded. And he's out there in the street with the young kids, and he's working with the young kids. And his opinion on this will be very, very entertaining and intelligent, and we need to see
It'd be
that.
very interesting to know what he think about it. I'd like to know myself.
Because there's a lot of issues there that I like what he said right there. At least he was honest and truthful. He put the petition, and he said whatever happens, happens. So I can go along with that. He says they have 180 days to get the petition back in, so it may not be on the November 6th general election ballot, okay?
It might be before then, you think?
Well, no, it could be after then, because city charter says they have 180 days. So the city of East Cleveland might have to have a special election.
Oh, so that can be the first of the year.
The first of the year.
That's 6 months.
The city officials right here, Tone, you know, this is astounding. This has have everybody, and I'm going to say this have everybody in the region at a down still, okay? Nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to go on. You got officers that are not in compliance, that is in violation. Nobody knows what the sanction from the state of Ohio is going to be for that. You have people that they're arrested, and I keep saying this, and I want everybody to know, especially on Facebook and in the chat room, if a person's in jail, and it's not about you, the activists releasing people or anything like that. Nobody's blaming the activists or anything. It's the city officials' fault, okay? We're going to the city officials, okay? But let me say this to you. I don't care if it's the city officials' fault. I don't care if it's the activists' fault. I don't care if it's the governor's fault. I don't care if it's that police officer's fault, okay? That don't mean a hill of beans when you're putting a serial killer back on the city streets, okay?
Well, I mean, I know there's the whole, I don't even think it would be called double jeopardy in this case, but whatever the criteria that would get him released and maybe make that all the previous evidence inadmissible, I'm sure it won't be hard to get this guy back in jail.
The double jeopardy thing is you can't get tried twice.
No, well, it won't be double jeopardy because he's convicted. He has to file an appeal. But
you can't be tried twice for the same crime. That's the double
But the problem is this, Tone, and this is the problem where lawyers are in here at about the appeals, okay? If I got a gun and I shoot you and the gun and the body's in my house, and you file a search warrant, and you're not authorized to file that search warrant, then they can't use the body.
Right.
They can't use the gun.
Right.
So they can't charge me with murder.
I'm sure there's some loophole though for
but
in this case a serial killer.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The complications.
Car with the body.
What
car
can
red-handed
they
with the
use?
body. I'm sure, even though the circumstances may say
what
might
law
be some
can they
technicalities.
use?
I don't know. You guys are the law firms. I'm just saying. I don't really want to get into it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just putting. See, Tone. This is the problem right here. We're hoping and praying. This is the problem. We, as citizens in the community that live in Cleveland, Cleveland Heights, Euclid, South Euclid, in the county, one, we don't live in East Cleveland, so we don't want our tax dollars going in East Cleveland. That's how they feel. That's why East Cleveland hasn't been annexed, okay? our county sheriff's office have to supply security or law enforcement. Now they're used to coming in and trying to provide assistance. Okay. Now officials from the county who do not wish to remain anonymous has already said, okay, that there's no way that the county can come in and replace a full operation. First, the money may be there, as he said, so they're going to have to hire people. If they hire people, they're going to have to, it's going to take a minimum 6 months, okay, to get them out the academy, okay. The state patrol's there. People don't want the state highway patrol there. They're there now, okay. They're not capable of it because you're talking about a full operation here.
So what are they going to do, bring Cleveland over?
Cleveland's not going to do it. Cleveland, first of all, in order for Cleveland to spend their resources in the city of East Cleveland, they got to go to the voters. And the voters are not going to allow that. Cleveland Heights ain't going to allow it.
I know that.
Okay. So, and then.
I'm telling you, Sachs, this might be a big shot, man. Go take it over.
No, Sachs don't want that.
I do not want East Cleveland. I go back to Indian Hills.
To the residents right here, to our national audience, we got to go and pay some news. But you know what? We started our conversation with Jason. But I want everybody to take a minute, and we want to we lost a legend today, Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul. First woman nominated to the Hall of Fame. Okay, you know, she was an icon. She's no longer with us, and we'd like to send our condolences to their family. And with that note, we're going to go out and we're going to pay some bills, and then we'll be right back.
You're listening to STMK Radio 100.
AP Radio News. Queen of Soul died at her home in Detroit this morning from pancreatic cancer. She was 76.
A teenage mom, having one son at age 13, another at 16. She never named the fathers, but her mom helped raise them while she became famous. Franklin married twice, both ending in divorce. She was married nearly a decade to actor Glenn Turman. Though they divorced, she recorded the theme song for his TV show, A Different World.
This is AP News Minute. At least 35 people are known dead after the highway bridge collapse in Genoa, Italy. It's unknown why a 260-foot section of the span broke off on Tuesday. Former White House aide Omarosa Manigault-Newman told the AP she will not be bullied by Donald Trump. The former reality TV star says the Trump campaign's claim that she broke a secrecy agreement is an attempt to keep her quiet. Vermont Democrats nominated Christine Hallquist, who could become the nation's first transgender governor. She's running against Republican incumbent Phil Scott. Southeast Wisconsin Republicans nominated Brian Stile to take retiring House Speaker Paul Ryan's seat in Congress. Democrats picked Randy Bryce, who was an iron worker. Ed Donahue, The Associated Press, with AP News Minute.
depth on the day's news so you know what happened and why it matters to you.
Every week, our Power Politics podcast will spend time with newsmakers and national leaders so you understand why Washington works the way it does.
Sign up today on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. Just search The Hill.
For The Hill, I'm Alexis Simendinger.
And I'm Neve Ellis. We'll see you on Hillcast.
The College Football National Championship plays on Sirius XM. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Intercepted Alabama. Mack Wilson, he's going to take it in.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Got a block for Brown. Touchdown. We're headed to Atlanta.
Kicking off Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And ESPN Radio 84 has live on-site coverage from Atlanta beginning at 7 a.m. Eastern. They'll take you on the field and into the locker room for college football's biggest game. Play-by-play and unmatched coverage is on ESPN Radio Channel 80 and ESPN Radio Channel 84.
Our show by subscribing to the Thom Hartmann podcasts at thomhartmann.com/podcast. They're commercial free and you can listen anytime and any place you want.
Stop the madness. Keep it 100. The best talk show on the web is here on STMK Radio 100 with your hosts, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone. Come join us from 6 to 8 p.m. Mondays through Fridays. Stop the madness. Keep it 100 with live call-ins, heated discussions about current events, politics, national news, weather, and sports. Join our live online chat room and let your opinion show. Download our phone app, Stop the Madness. Keep it 100 on on STMK Radio 100. Come join us from 6 to 8 p.m. Mondays through Fridays. The best talk show on the web is here on STMK Radio 100. Call us at 1-866-484-7865. That's 1-866-484-STMK. Stop the madness. Keep it 100.
You've been tuned in to Stop the Madness, keeping it 100 on STMK Radio 100. And now back to your host one more time, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone.
And your relationship probably started out as a series of magical moments with your heart pounding and your spirit soaring and your stomach doing flip-flops just at the thought of seeing him or her, right? You felt so loved and you felt so wanted and appreciated and needed, right? And you were joined at the hip. And then one day, a terrible thing began to happen. That feeling of falling in love began to fade away. And you started to realize just how different you were from your partner, and perhaps how much of yourself you'd sacrificed in order to be in the relationship with your partner. And now the little things that you used to love about your partner begin to annoy you. And before you know it, you're arguing about the dumbest things. And you've entered what we call the power struggle stage.
Hey, welcome back to the second hour of Free for All Thursday, Sax Man.
What do you want me to say?
You know, Sax Man, we left off of there because this is our part 3 earlier of the East Cleveland thing. And that in the chat room, they are really, really going in on that. The lawyers, the defense attorneys, the police officers are astounding. You know, I'm just shocked. And I'm going to say this. This is just shocking me that you have a municipality that nobody's doing the proper thing and all them people there to need help.
I feel bad for the cops that are in compliant, that are doing the right thing, that are following procedures, that's being the best cop they can, and they getting left right in the bucket with the rest of the bad.
Well,
I feel bad for
right,
them.
but I feel bad. But you know what? I feel bad for the citizens.
Yep.
I feel bad for everybody in the county because I keep telling everybody, and we keep talking about this, that this have far-reaching implications across the county. Everybody talking about people on dirt bikes speeding through the streets, okay? When you got a whole urban city that may turn into a no-go zone, okay? And I'm going to say that. I know people going to get mad at me and everything, okay?
Telling the truth. Keep it 100.
Nobody's talking
It's
about
already a no-go zone.
But no, I'm
If
talking
I
about.
don't, if I don't have to, if I can,
You
if
don't want to go.
If I can go around East Cleveland,
well, you will go around now.
That's a no-go.
And it ain't because of the crime or nothing. It's because of the raggedy streets.
Raggedy
and
streets to
everything
take your
else.
car.
But Tom, I'm talking about the problems in half of the streets, the service, the city government itself. We are in America. This should not be happening.
No, it shouldn't.
Yeah, it's just like
Okay.
East Cleveland is like a social experiment right now.
And the governor, you know,
A social experiment.
I keep looking at this because
Or somebody with some bad aim with grenades.
But Sax Man, I keep looking at this because I go back to the high-speed chase where there was 137 shots in the city of Cleveland, okay? And I go to where everybody put it in DeWine's hand, okay? And Mike DeWine didn't make the call, okay? Either way it go, he didn't make the call, okay? Because you still got police officers on trial. He put it on a system, okay? The easy way out, okay? And he's running for governor, and there's no way Mike DeWine is going to prosecute police officers while he's running for governor. That's not going to happen. He would lose the FOP support. He would lose the supporters of the FOP report. He would lose Trump supporters. I mean,
you think you're being soft?
It's not about being soft. It's called self-preservation of your political aspirations.
Well,
But it's also indicative of a much bigger problem. Like even why would the FOP and all of these police unions and the police voting population, why would they care if he convicts bad, dirty cops? If he convicts
what I was trying to tell you
incompetent,
before, though.
corrupt, crooked cops?
But Tone, it was what I was trying to tell you.
It's
before.
indicative of the problem overall. Is that
Tone, we know you. Wait a minute.
I mean, I know what you're gonna say.
We know you're a millennial.
Yeah.
I know what you're gonna say. I'm saying that's the problem.
Fake news.
That's
fake
the problem.
Fake news.
That's the problem.
Fake news.
They've been
fake
calling
news.
me fake news at
no,
work.
No, I'm just saying fake news. Okay. Mr. Pumpkin, fake news. Okay, I ain't gonna mention no names.
Right.
Now the question is this: since we keeping it real,
Keep it real.
okay,
Keep it real.
why are they doing it now? Okay, let's think about the Russia investigation, and that takes us right into where we go.
I knew it. We was on our way.
Sax man, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I thought we had a break.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. When we have our relationship hour, when we do that show, I want you to shut your mouth. I don't want you to do nothing, because the scorn of a black woman is not what you need. Because 45 getting served up, baby.
Oh, is he?
Omarosa is serving him up.
In her book,
she looking for a payday.
That's okay,
you know.
Tone.
That's
see, you know what the problem is.
That's
Tone?
why she sat on his lap at first.
But you know what the problem is with everybody? It's not. She's supposed to get paid, and secondly, he taught her the game. Now she's using the game against him.
Exactly.
Okay, but this is what I mean by she looking for a payday. If these tapes exist of him using the N-word, why all the hoopla? Why don't just put the tapes out?
Why she didn't say anything
because
about
she
it
waiting to get paid. Either she waiting to get paid from him to keep her quiet, or she waiting to get paid from somebody else. So once again, she not doing the right thing. She don't care about doing the right thing.
She didn't take the money from him. He offered her $180,000.
That ain't enough.
But let me say this to you, Tone.
Tone, you on a point though.
Wait a minute. But why would you put your stuff out? No, just think about this. 45 tells her they fire. Okay. Now, they offer her, once they found out that she got tapes, they offered her 108. Okay. She turned them down, but she taped them when they offered this. Okay.
Right.
Now, she write her book. She tells you everything she said in her book, in quotes, can be verified by tapes. Okay. One, they call her a liar. As soon as they call her a liar, what she do? She put out a tape of her taping General Kelly in the Situation Room.
Okay.
The most secure place in America.
Ooh.
She's taping in the White House in the Situation Room.
Yeah, that shows you how incompetent the administration is,
There-
because
there-
she shouldn't be able to get the phone in there. But that's got nothing to do with what I'm saying.
What else to do? So check out number two. Number two, to prove a quote in her book, she says that she heard there's a tape with Trump using the N-word. Okay. Now, Trump supposed to be the man. This is where I say it's all bull, because Trump's supposed to be the man. I speak my mind. I say what I want to say when I want to say it. Okay. Everybody in America know that Trump, a rich white man, has called the N-word. There's no way around it. Okay. Everybody knows this.
Everybody knows this.
So he should just say, yeah, I used the N-word.
But he didn't. He said the word's not in his vocabulary. So if the tapes exist, why don't expose the tapes?
I'm going to break it down to you, Tom, because see, you're missing.
How long we gonna let him run this game?
Wait, but you're gonna miss it down. Okay. Now she's proven 45 of being a liar. So what she put out there? She brought 45's number one line black girl, Katrina Pearson. Okay. The other one, Loa, whatever her name is, to work for Ben Carson, and Frank Lukey, the guy. Okay. She said the highest members of his campaign had conversations about him using the N-word and how they was going to spin it. What did Christina Pearson do for Trump? What did Trump do? Trump got his cronies, put them on all the news stations, and the first thing they said, that conversation never happened. Okay? Omarosa's lying. She's making this up. She's writing a book. It never happened. What did Omarosa do the next day? She put the tape out of them having the conversation. Now, when wasn't nobody going to buy that book, okay, now everybody's buying that book because everybody say, wait a minute, she got some shit here. Then she puts the most important thing out, okay? And I wouldn't get that whole card up neither. She told America that the president of the United States is a Russian agent, and he had advance notice of the hacked emails and committed a conspiracy to undermine the United States democracy.
Look at the look on Tone's face.
Now let me tell you this. Now I'm gonna tell you why she didn't put this. Why this ain't coming out yet, Tone? Because guess what? If that tape do come out, Trump's presidency is done.
He should be arrested. He should be arrested and thrown in jail.
So I mean, but that goes back to my point. That goes back to my point. If I don't think his presidency is done if it comes out. because the people that support him are going to support him nonetheless.
No, I don't think they would support him after that.
They're going to support him nonetheless.
That's what Nixon thought too.
But if that's the case, if that tape is going to end his presidency, that's another reason why it should be out already.
No, she got 100 tapes.
It's about money, man.
It's 100 tapes.
No, it's not about money. It's about getting this.
It's
about getting this incompetent person out of the White House.
But she want to do that and get paid at the same time.
Omarosa is not trying to get rid of Trump. She want to cut him up a little bit.
What? No, she's trying to get paid. Like I said from the very beginning.
Woman, wait a minute. What an angry woman do? See, Trump, you're not looking tone.
I mean, I'm just
saying. She's an angry woman. She want to beat.
Angry about what?
She want to break him down.
What's she angry about?
Hey, she shouldn't
have wanted to be there in the first place.
She got fired twice from
she shouldn't want to be there in the first place if that's the type of operation they got going on.
She want to cut him up.
She got fired from the Apprentice and the White House.
Yeah, see, so in the meanwhile, she playing games.
I know that's a baby mama move.
Baby mama move.
You better watch out for that baby mama.
While other people were suffering, like while parents was getting separated from their children at the border, she playing games for her own little petty purposes.
That's the whole administration.
Exactly. So
and the Republicans.
If this is going to be the so-called downfall of his administration, what's the holdup?
But do reality TV show you the whole show in the beginning?
Exactly.
You got to go the whole far.
This is all a reality TV show.
You got to go the whole far.
Because we got a reality TV president. What you expect?
Well, I'm saying,
we got a reality TV
what's the
president.
holdup? If Omarosa is if her interest is doing the right thing, what's the holdup?
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
Her interest is to get paid.
Wait a minute. Who said she was interested in doing the right thing?
I didn't. I said she waiting for a payday. That was the very first thing I said. But
for a payday,
oh, she gonna get paid.
Shit.
But I love it because you know why? I like the serpents. Because Omarosa said you're gonna bow down to 45. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. All them was on 45. See.
She gonna get a nice payday. That's gonna be the end of it.
But all of them has to fall on their sword. Okay, all of them has to fall on their sword. Stephen Miller, he's got to fall on his sword. Okay, Kelly, he got to fall on his sword. Okay, I'm like this. All evil has its day in the sun. Just like all storms come the morning after the sun rise from the east.
The devil is going to have to face the rapture when it's
and as they say about a good master builder, because you know I'm a 32nd degree Mason, as they say about a good master, as a good master builder, pay that man his wage. Okay. And Trump need to get paid. Okay. He needs for what he's done to America and what he's doing right now. Okay. When the verdict come back, the guilty verdict come back. Going to take him to the second trial. Guilty verdict come back, okay? He needs to be paid for his wrongdoing, okay? And all his supporters.
He does, and we'll see.
And all his supporters. Because you know why? If America's going to survive, Tone, and I'm going to say this, and I may not be here, you may not be here, but if America's going to survive this, righteousness have to stand up with the sword, and St. Michael's have to cut somebody's head off.
Well, ain't nobody doing the righteous thing, except for maybe.
That's why righteousness have to win over. Justice and righteousness have to win over. Mueller is the man sitting there that's going to bring the wrath of the man riding the white horse. Remember the man riding the white horse, and then hell follows.
Right.
He's going to bring righteousness back and show everybody, and I believe that. Okay, I really do. I believe that this presidency was set here for a reason, because people is contemplating and don't want to get involved. Our generation failed our younger generation. I don't mean you personally.
Sax band be
so don't
polka dot horse.
Wait. You said
I don't mean
your generation failed
your generation.
The younger generation.
Right,
okay.
right.
Yeah,
I'm serious. We did.
That sounds right.
Well, you know what? You know
he happy to hear that.
But you know what, John?
He happy to hear
I'm
that.
serious about this. You know what? And I want everybody to understand this. When you can't relate to your kids, and when you have nobody, when I went into law enforcement 32 years ago, and I've been retired 8 years now, so that's 40 years ago when I left.
Right.
42 years ago when I left Shaw High School. Okay, when I was 17.
Now you're a bit older.
And I went to college. Okay, when they began to sue police departments across America. Okay, our people. And when I say our people, like Fannie Lewis, Lonnie Burton, you don't know them, but we had hard, strong politicians.
We did that.
Black Carl B. Stokes,
sure
Stephanie Tubb Jones.
They fought
the fight, and they walked with Martin Luther King.
Yep.
They knew that they was getting old, and they knew that they couldn't keep carrying that flag and that torch, so they came and got the kids and taught the kids. And they brought us up in the area. And they told us and pushed us out, okay? That's why I can retire at 48 and have a good pension, okay, and live in a good area, okay? That's why we have lawyers, Dr. Barack Obama's president, okay? We failed because guess what? Nobody is following us. When you get a police department like East Cleveland, and it's a black police department, okay? Black officers, okay? You can't say white. You got black officers, okay, treating black people like this. That's horrendous. Look at Baltimore. You got a black officer, ain't even been on a job a year yet, out there beating people unconscious, okay? What are our kids going to do? Our schools are broken. Our neighborhoods are broken. Our families are broken.
Speaking of that officer, they swore out a warrant on him.
Yeah, they indicted him for felonious assault. He's going to sax man. This is the problem. We have the same problem in Euclid. We have the same problem going on other police departments. See, I'm going to say this when you sit here and say, I feel bad for the good police officers that's getting caught up in this. Okay, guess what? The good police officer should have been the one yelling to stop this from going there.
The one cop was trying to pull him, trying to grab him.
No, I'm not talking about Baltimore. I'm talking about period, okay? You can't fault that officer that's with him because he's in a catch-22 situation.
Right.
If he turns his back on the crowd.
He got to watch the crowd.
Right.
He
so he got to let it go on.
Yep,
okay.
He got to watch that crowd.
But afterwards, he got to deal with it. But what I'm talking about, when good police officers allow bad police officers and bad administrations and bad stuff to happen, this is the problem. The judge, Judge Dawson, that's a black judge. The prosecutor is black. The mayor is black. Okay? The white man, as everybody want to say, isn't holding nothing back. This is a black city, a black organization.
I've always said, you can't blame the white man for the black man's downfall today.
Right.
And you can't.
And then
now, 30, 40 years ago, yeah, but not now.
Then you look at this.
Can't do it now.
None of our kids are being trained to follow anybody or to take care of the neighborhood. So what's going to happen to them? If they're not trained to do it, and we failed them, so I'm going to say this, we failed them. I'm up there now, and I'm getting up there. You're going to be up there. This generation is going to be out there coming up to the point. What's going to happen to the kids behind them? Lost souls. Look.
Well, I mean, the truth of the matter is, in my opinion, there are a lot of good people doing a lot of good things in these young generations. You talk about the black doctors and lawyers and everything that were a result of your generation and the civil rights movement. There are plenty of people following in their steps. There are a lot of them,
but not the numbers.
There's always going to be lost souls, and maybe the disparity between the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer, and in these impoverished communities, you have these ailments. You have these situations where these poor, desperate kids, they don't feel like they have any hope, so they resort to desperate, drastic measures, and unfortunately, that's probably gonna always exist. But I just, to me, it sounds like you guys are like try to count on the whole generation, but this generation is doing some great, amazing things, and it's not just about black. Period. This millennial
across the board
generation, these are some brilliant minds coming out of this generation. And taking us into the future. So I like to see the silver line. I like to be an optimist, no matter what.
So tell me what you see.
I see.
Well, let me ask you this question, because I love to hear my millennial talk. 10 years down the line, where do you see our communities and our kids at right now? That as we see them now, with East Cleveland, take East Cleveland for example. 10 years down the line, where do you see East Cleveland and the people in East Cleveland?
The third worst city listed in Ohio.
From the way I see it right now, the way it looks, East Cleveland would be non-existent in 10 years. It'll be absorbed by the surrounding city of Cleveland and surrounding suburbs. It'll be broken up and put into pieces. Or, I mean, that's the way I see it. Other than that, it's just going to become a third world.
It's already listed as the third worst city in Ohio.
It's probably
worse than
probably
that.
the third worst city in the country.
But if you look at when they list East Cleveland, they actually right, and then you have to go with where Cleveland.
No, Cleveland won't even on the list. It was Youngstown, it was another city was 2, and East Cleveland was number 3.
Because I want to say this right here, and I believe what you
Town number 1.
In 10 years. What I'm looking at this, and I really believe that is that I see everybody moving out to Willowick. Okay, I don't see our inner cities going back almost the way they was in the 60s when they started getting built up. It's going to take a thing, and this is going to be prime land. I do believe that. Okay.
Well, this is all by design, Sean. I'm gonna say this. You can disagree all you want. This is by design. It's made this way for people to leave, for people of color to leave the city of Cleveland to go to the suburbs, so the people, the white people can move back into Cleveland from the suburbs and take back over downtown and certain parts of downtown and certain parts of the west side. It's all by design. They want to come back. They want to be closer to work. They don't want to have to take that long drive down 90 or 71. They tired of that. So they all work downtown because a lot of people now, I did a number this a long time ago, Sean. Most of the people that work in the city of Cleveland don't even live in the city of Cleveland.
That's true.
They live on the outskirts of Cleveland. But they can't move into downtown until they get rid of certain indigenous individuals so they can come and move downtown. That's why they're building all these lofts and these big, beautiful apartments and homes down there on the west side so they can move into downtown. But they got to get rid of us. They don't want to be around us. So they're creating this stuff that's happening so we can move out, away from them.
Well, they stuck with it, Sax.
No, not all the way, because
Saxman,
certain places, it's happening. I know of.
Hey,
I've worked them.
I get what
Russell
you're saying.
Wilkins in L.A. had just put a classy thing up there, what we was talking about earlier about Omarosa, and he tells Saxman, that may be your baby mama.
Oh, that is my baby mama. I meant to. I didn't want to claim her.
Omarosa?
Yeah, I didn't want to claim her, but that is my baby.
Because I'm gonna go back to that. I just love it. I do. I just love it because you know why? I want her to put all the tapes out. I want her to put the tapes out. I want her book to sell good because all he had to do is just leave her alone. Nobody would have brought her book and move on.
Exactly.
And every time
she wasn't nobody in the first place.
And every time he tried to change the the headline, she bring it right back to her.
He made her relevant. He was irrelevant before then. He made her relevant.
Sax, man, let me ask you this question right here.
She was probably walking around there recording everything going on.
Because she was irrelevant. Nobody cared about her.
But Tone, to get back right where we at, Tone, he deserved all this because you know why? There's no way if Barack Obama was still president, we right now. You think Clinton got impeached? We right now we're probably standing out there with shotguns and pitchforks trying to protect Obama from getting put out the White House.
They would have got him immediately.
Okay, but I want to go a little bit further than this because we're in the bottom of the hour, and I don't want to take a break because we're in free fall. But Saxman, I want to ask you a question.
I'm listening.
Tonight, our Cleveland Browns.
Oh, gee. No, I'm not listening. I'm leaving the damn.
Well, Saxman, look what he did last week.
Oh,
our first round draft pick showed up pretty good last week, and he got an arm.
Don't it always happen that way in the beginning of the season? Then they fall off. They don't win no games.
Right.
What are we? 35-1?
Saxman. See. That's why.
Listen.
That's
John,
why I got to take. Wait, that's why I got to take you off the air.
I'm sorry.
That's why I got to take you off the air.
This is 100.
What did I tell you last year?
Oh.
What did I tell you last year? What did I tell you last year?
I gotta be a fan of us. I'm not allowed on the show.
I mean, yeah, you got to be a fan. Who else you gonna root for? But I mean. I get your point. I think no, you can't root for Pittsburgh.
What? Oh, hey,
no, I'm just kidding.
Wait a minute. Tone, did y'all see the
sick the dog on you say that again?
Where is that guy to try to run Saxman over last week?
Oh, that guy that guy's in jail.
Oh, well, we need to bail him out.
No, you won't bail him out.
But I have seen you wearing some Pittsburgh gear in Studio 51
let me tell you this.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you this. I've been a Cleveland Browns fan my whole life.
So who you wearing Pittsburgh?
And I can remember when they won the championship. So y'all can't remember that. I was around. Okay.
I remember. We the same age.
Now let me tell you this. In the 70s, I love me some Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh with Lynn Swan, Franco Harris,
I like when they did
L.C.
that movie.
Greenwood, and all them. I love me some Pittsburgh.
I like when they was all black and they was killing people.
And I'm going to tell you, I went root for Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh was the hitman squad.
Yeah,
and they beat down the team that I hate, Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
They ain't take no prisoners back then, okay? And Oakland, I love me a little Oakland, but I couldn't get with the West
They were
Coast.
so good. They made a movie of them. They was all riding motorcycles and stuff. You seen that movie?
And Pittsburgh, the
Yeah,
first.
nobody will talk about Pittsburgh.
Oh,
So back to these Browns.
Right. So
you think Baker? You think So is it official? Is he going to be the starting quarterback?
Well, they need to start because did you see the passes he was throwing?
I haven't been able to watch any.
Yeah, I haven't been
week,
watching. I've been
hey,
busy.
last week he threw some pinpoint passes. He got a nice arm. They're gonna play tonight. Everybody, y'all go watch my Browns.
Thursday night football.
And
I'm trying to check
it's
tonight's
back,
game out.
and check it out. I mean, y'all need to check him out. Root for the Browns
Well,
because this year
I'm a root for
we
him.
may bring home.
I'm gonna root for
that trophy.
Now you stretching. Now you reaching.
35 and listen
for the Stars.
35 and 1.
Has any team ever went from 0 wins one season to the championship the next season? Has it ever happened before in history?
The Sax Band Brown.
Well, yes. Wait, but no.
If it's happened before, then
I'm trying to
right.
think what Miami's record was. I'm trying to think what Miami record was when they won everything. Maybe they never went from 0 up.
Right.
So,
I mean,
so if you
they got to take baby steps.
Wait a minute. But if you're going to make history, you might as well make history.
Is Dez Bryant come? Did he sign?
I hope Dez sign. We need Dez.
We do need Dez.
With Mayfield, let me say this. With Mayfield get signed, if we sign Dez Bryant, not only do Mayfield has a threat and Callaway over there, but now they're going to have to double and triple Dez. That's going to open up the running game. Mayfield can run some too. Plus, that's going to open up the other side. And he got arm, okay? The first quarterback like Bernie Kosar, Bernie couldn't run, but Bernie had arm. He can run and he got arm.
What's his name? What's the guy who's playing in Canada now?
Oh, don't even talk.
He had an arm.
Who? Shorty.
Man, what's his name? Man.
Shorty.
Yeah.
Shorty should have
He
never
had an
got
arm.
drafted. Come on, we should have never drafted him.
Okay, so let's be modest though. I just want to see what you're gonna say. Let's be modest. They're not gonna win the whole thing.
No.
I don't even expect them to make it to the playoffs this year.
Maurice Weber said Mayfield isn't gonna start.
Let me
6 or 7 games.
Mayfield gonna start because you know why?
Sean says he's gonna start.
He's gonna start. You know why? Because the starting quarterback going down. He's gonna start. He's coming in. And I'm going to tell you this, Tony Stone, and I'm going to call it right here on the air tonight before my Browns even come home, play their first preseason game.
I'm going to let you see who's saying this. This guy
right
here.
Okay, Maurice, I'm going to call it for you on the air tonight before my Browns come home to play their first game. Cleveland going to go 15-3. And we go, and Mayfield gonna bring the championship.
Hey, wait! Didn't we have a bet in the finals?
Yeah.
What happened with the finals? Wasn't somebody supposed to? Who was supposed to pay up?
No, it was beer and something else.
Oh yeah, I brought the beer. Okay,
y'all did pay up the bet. I was thinking I didn't get paid.
So you saying that
I'm going
15-3. No, there's no way. But okay, I'm gonna make a prediction that they win 6 games.
15-2.
6 games.
No, but they're gonna win over 15
hold
games.
up.
6 games.
Maurice laughing. He said 15.
6 games, and that'd be
I
miraculous.
know that's right, Maurice. I'm laughing too.
That'd be
man.
miraculous for them.
15-1.
Hey, y'all go ahead and laugh all y'all want. The Cleveland Browns is gonna do it this year.
Like I said, they 35-1.
Hey, and when they bring
1-35.
And I want to say
I'm sorry, 1-35.
Sax man. When we down there in the press boxes,
all right,
and they win it, you just sit outside the stadium. We're not letting
you got
to
a streak butt naked if they win
right.
it. When they win it,
I'm not gonna say a word. Yeah, I got streak butt naked again.
That's right.
On the field, you got to take the field. Streak butt naked.
We want right and leave your badge at home.
I already lost the bet once.
But
on
keep
the
your
Browns.
gun belt out.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna have my gun.
Without the gun.
I already won.
Listen.
Listen. I had a bet that the Browns was gonna win at one time, and I said if they lose, I'll run down Lakeshore butt ass nigga. And they lost. And I had to run down Lakeshore butt nigga. I was mad. I said, I ain't never doing that.
That's
no
deja vu. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was the case.
It happened.
Well, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. I'm telling you
that might be history repeating itself. I didn't know that. But when I said that, when I made that comment, I had no idea that you had to do
and I want everybody to know this.
I actually had to do it.
I want everybody to know this. When the Browns, when all y'all naysayers, okay, because right now, guess what?
What?
We batting 100.
They batted 100 the whole preseason last year. I'm saying
when the season starts?
6 or 7 games.
Okay,
that'll be
six.
a great season for them if they win 6 or 7.
Maurice say 9, 7 at the most, and maybe on Madison. On Madden. He said maybe on Madden. That's the game.
see, Sax, man.
Go with Maurice.
Man, you tell Maurice. You tell him. Maurice, see, you can't talk about my Cleveland Browns. We gonna have to bring you in the studio, bro. We gonna have to bring you in the studio because you can't talk about my Browns like that.
Man.
He'll be our official Browns correspondent.
Yeah.
He said, your boy mentioned passing. Where's the running game? That's true. That's true. That's right. Where's the running game?
This is what I do think. I think they're not gonna lose every game again. They're not gonna do that.
They're gonna win 2 games this year. That's it.
I'm gonna be a little more optimistic. I'm gonna give them 6 games. I'm gonna give them 6 games. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna say it right now.
I don't think that's not gonna be enough to get them into the playoffs.
National radio.
But 6 games would be a
right
hell of
now,
an improvement. And
national radio.
6 games.
You say 6.
Yeah.
I say 3.
Okay.
Now what we gonna bet on? Which one of us going to run down the street butt ass naked?
I'm not running down the street. I'll streak butt naked if they win the Super Bowl. I'll take that risk, but
I like that. I like that. Okay.
We could bet beer. You know, we keep our beer bet going on.
I go to your bar and you come to mine. Which one?
We can do it like that, yeah. So if they win 3 games or less, you get beer. If they win more than 3, but not go to the playoffs. No, so yeah, if they win more than 3, let's say 3 to 7, I win.
They need at least 8 games to go to playoff.
I mean, it depends. Like it depends their division, like their conference. Like I don't know how it works. How good their division.
Don't they need 8 games just to go to the playoffs, Sean?
In the AFC, we don't know. But wait a minute. Hold on for a minute because I want to see something. Caller, you on there?
The IT van messing up again.
Yeah, that I guess the caller that she can't hear us. Go Browns. Hello?
Maurice say if you fly him here from Austin, because he's in Austin, Texas, he said he'll come in the studio. Come from Austin.
Caller, can you hear us? Well, I guess they're.
I'll be down there. Listen, I'm gonna come down there, man, so I can scout out the. What's the place that's down there in Texas? That your boy from? That he wanted me to come down there and visit.
Houston.
Houston, yeah. So I'll come down there and check out Houston, and see, and come visit that girl, and come check things out. And I'll bring Sean with me that way. Tone got to stay here in Cleveland because Tone get down there in Austin. He ain't going to know how to act.
Oh, Maurice is in Austin, huh?
Yeah, he in Austin.
No, I used to live in San Antonio for about a year. I've been to Austin. I like Austin. I like San Antonio.
San Antonio? I partied in San Antonio.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite cities.
Yeah, that was a party town in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Fort Sam Houston?
Yeah.
Woo, Lord have mercy.
Matter of fact, that's where I was at.
You was at Fort Sam Houston?
Yeah.
Man, that was a spot there.
Yeah.
I was kicking in there. Me, my 2 cousins, we went in together on the buddy system. Man, every weekend we packed up and drove from Fort Hood.
Oh, yeah, because you was in Fort Hood.
Yeah, we drove up there, man, and partied with them girls, and they was horny, and we was having a ball. They ain't had no man in about 6 months.
Sex, man.
What would Mama Sax say if she heard you talking like that?
Mama Sax, she is watching, because she watches.
Yep, see, look at you.
My bad, she is watching.
All that.
She told me to tell
that
Sean.
act you was putting on last week.
Listen, Mama Sax told me to tell Sean this today. She say, when you go on a show, you make sure you tell Sean to let you talk sometimes and stop interrupting.
We don't have a choice but you, Sax, man, because you try to hog everything up.
I said, okay, Mom, I'll make sure I tell him. Yeah, because he get on my nerves. He won't let you talk for nothing.
Hey, Mama Sax ought to know we gonna have to let you talk.
I
Sax,
say,
man.
okay, Mama, I'll tell him, baby. Relax, Mama. Sit down and take your medicine.
So let me go right here for free for all again. Tone the Stone, tell us. LeBron gone.
Mm-hmm.
Cavaliers getting ready to start up.
Now, where's LeBron going?
LeBron is in L.A.
What's your question?
What you think gonna happen with the Lakers?
They're gonna get a lot of publicity.
Yeah.
They're gonna get a lot of like their ratings. I mean, well, they probably always get good ratings. Like the Lakers fans are loyal fans, and that's in that market out there is something else. But as far as them being competitive, I don't see it. I don't see them competing with the Warriors or the Rockets.
Yeah.
Or
he better off staying in Cleveland because we always go every year against the fucking Warriors. We do better with him in Cleveland than he do anywhere fucking else. Stay his ass in Cleveland. What the fuck? Excuse my language, Mama. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They're not gonna be able to compete against the Warriors or the Rockets.
This is angry. It got me angry about that one though. So I don't know. I understand it's a money move too. It's a career move for him. He got us our title. I mean, he got us our ring. He figured I tried again. I failed. That's all I'm gonna give you.
I mean, it's his life. It's his choice.
Yeah.
As far as the Lakers go, I think I don't even know if they made the playoffs this past season. With LeBron on the team, he's that it factor where they'll probably make the playoffs.
Maurice want to call in.
They'll probably make the playoffs, but they're not going all the way against the Warriors or the Rockets.
233-3669. 233-3669. Call in the studio. Talk to Sean.
So what you say they're not going to do, Tony Stone?
I said they're not going to compete against. They're not going to be able to compete against the Warriors or the Rockets. With LeBron on the team, they'll probably make the playoffs this year because every team he plays for goes to the playoffs at the bare minimum. But they're not going to be able to play. They're not going to be able to beat out the Rockets or the Warriors to make it to the finals.
Yeah, that's going to be a big pull right there. Yeah, that is what it is.
Well, I don't know, man. Like I said, I have my opinion.
What is your opinion, Sax, man? Tell us about it.
I think that Cleveland is done. We can't get Cleveland, the Browns, in order the way we want to. We done lost our only superstar for the Cavs. And the Indians.
No, we lost Kyrie first. Kyrie's
gone. He was a superstar too.
But I'm a superstar, Sax. I'm still here. I ain't went nowhere yet, man.
But you are afraid to get on the goddamn court and play the basketball game. You don't want to do nothing.
They won't pay me what I'm asking for.
See, you supposed to be a team player. It doesn't matter. Get in there, earn that shit. Get in there, show them what you know, show them what you can do so you can get the money, man. You just can't walk in and be like, I'm a roaster. I want to make money. You got to earn it. Quit playing.
Who we got? No, we still got Kevin Love. I mean,
oh, come on, man. That's all.
Right there.
The Cavs might make like the 7th or 8th seed this year.
Jesus.
They might slide in. They might slide into the playoffs at the last minute.
What we gonna do about the Indians?
I don't know. Tell us about it. The Indians going pretty strong, but they can't win.
Who we got on the phone, Sean?
We got Maurice on there.
Oh,
Maurice
Big Mo.
called
What's
in.
up, Mo?
Hey, what's up, Sax, man?
What's
Hey,
up, man?
Maurice, I know you out of state.
How you doing, fellas? How you doing?
Hey, you good, Maurice? I know you in Texas, man. But let me say something, man. You can't talk about my Browns like that.
Look, man, I'm gonna put it like this, man. It's like I tell everybody else, man. I was born and raised in Cleveland. I'm a huge, I want to see the Cleveland Browns win a Super Bowl before my kids start having kids. Okay?
Right.
We already got one thing. We got the championship, but I mean, I'm just looking at reality here, man. I mean, I'm just gonna say it like this, man. As much as you want to see the Browns, go 15-1, or how you want to look at it, or 15-3. My thing is, we can't be the expectations, man. I think that's how come they always crash and burn. I know we deserve something by now with the Browns, as much as we've been sitting here waiting for them. But I mean, I'm looking at reality though.
Well, that's a pipe dream, Maurice. That's a pipe dream. People wishing 15-1. They either smoking the pipe or that's a pipe dream.
Well, we gonna have to see, Sax, man.
It may be a pipe dream, but the thing about it is, Cleveland needs something, man. Because we've been waiting too long for the Browns ever since.
99 was it 99 or 98 when they came back as an expansion team?
Yeah, that was 99.
See, so that's been what 18 years we've been waiting. No, take that back. Shit, what I'm talking about? 19 years. So that's been 19 years we've been sitting around waiting for a miracle.
Well, it's time. Every dog has his day, Sax, man.
Oh, but shoot.
I think they can do good this year. I think.
How good? How many?
I
mean, like I said, I think they can go 9-7 or maybe 8-8 and get a wild card.
Can we get the playoffs?
As a wild card.
Can we get the playoffs?
I think they can get in as a wild card.
That's a wild card.
You got to look at it like this. The AFC Central is one of the toughest divisions in the league.
Okay.
So you can't really count out Pittsburgh. You can't count out the Ravens. You can't count out Cincinnati.
So that should make the Browns one of the tough teams then, because we in that division and we've been in that division for so long. Why we can't win it?
You think they beat the Ravens and the Steelers this year?
You got to look at the inconsistencies in the past, man. Look how many coaching changes Cleveland Browns have had.
Because they always blame everything on the coaches and not on the players.
Maurice, you think the Browns beat the Steelers and the Ravens this year? Can you hear me?
You think the Browns can beat the Ravens and the Steelers this year?
I think they can. Because they got the talent. They've always had the talent. It's just the execution. They've always had the talent on the team. It's the execution.
Okay, so
I really think they got a strong chance to do something this year.
So I say 3 games. Tony Stone say 6. Sean say 15. How many games you say?
I'm saying, like I said, I'm sticking to my original. I'm gonna say 9-7. I said they could go 9-7, maybe 8-8. 9-7 is the best I think they can do, but 8-8 they might get to that. They might.
8-8 pushing it.
Oh, come on, that's pushing it.
8-8 pushing it. Come on, man.
Their schedule they don't have a hard schedule this year.
Yeah, but how many games they lost against a team they should have won? They should have walked on last year, and they lost to them. That was embarrassing. I was embarrassed to say I was from Cleveland. I was hiding like a motherfucker.
But hey, Sax, man, you know the Browns have a better quarterback and a better thing going on.
Okay.
Now.
If they do, then I'm gonna sit back and watch. I have a date tonight, so maybe me and my date can go to the bar and watch the game.
Right. Watch the Browns win.
Watch the Browns win.
Watch them because we batting 100 right now.
Batting 100. Okay.
Preseason games don't count.
Yeah.
We still batting 100. I don't care what it is.
Hopefully she likes the Browns. I haven't asked her that question because we just started, talking. So this is gonna be our first date out tonight.
What's her name, Sax?
Yeah, call out. Give her a shout out.
Her name is
it Erica?
Katrina. No, her name is Katrina.
Katrina.
She's a beautiful young chocolate woman that I like, and I'm gonna give her a shot.
You go give her a shot.
I'm gonna give her a shot.
And
a beer.
So Maurice, thanks for giving us a call, man, and coming on air with us.
I want to say this, what your boy was saying. I do want to agree with your boy, Baker Mayfield. I think he can be the franchise quarterback for that team if Hugh Jackson does right with him. Because Hugh was not a bad coach. Okay.
All right.
He's not a bad coach, but I really think that Baker Mayfield, even though it was only one playoff game, he still looked good. Okay. And I really think, and I do agree with your boy. You surround him with the right weapons. I think, I'm saying he may start this year, but the thing about it is, if you start him, you got to make sure you got the right weapons. Because if you don't have the right weapons, there's no point in starting.
Well, that's true too. But I think that he has. What he showed the first game is very, very impressive.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And the passes that he was throwing franchise quarterback passes, and I don't know if that was just by design but he showed a lot, and I think that he could be the one that we've been waiting for.
We hope.
Ain't no hope, Sax, man. You have to understand.
We said that about Bernie Kosar. We said that about Bernie Kosar.
Bernie was the man.
Bernie, and then he got drunk, and that was all she wrote.
But Bernie was the man when he was playing. Now,
then there was Testaverde. I like Testaverde, and so on and so on and so on.
So, okay, but before we got into this discussion about the Browns, you said earlier that the Indians, even though they winning, even though they looking real good, you said they can't win it this year?
They're pitching. They don't have the pitching to take them deep.
We got Kluber.
We got the hitting. We got the hitting, but we have to see when we get into the National League, our pitching is not going to hold up.
So you think we're not going to make it this year?
We may get to the
playoff,
the World Series.
World Series,
but the problem is when you get into the National League, they have strong pitching. Our hitting is going to go down. Our hitting is going to go into a slump. and it's going to be up to the pitching to win it, to bring it down.
Wait a minute. We got Ramirez.
No, we don't have that good to pitching staff, and our bullpen is garbage.
Well, okay, I can't argue that. I can't argue that one. You are right. I can't argue that.
So
one.
I mean, we're there. We're on the crust. If our hitting, if the bats stay hot, it's a done deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but in the National League, they got some superb pitching.
Yeah.
You know, that's just like the football. You know, in the American League, you got the tough teams. Okay, and that's just the way it is.
Well, Maurice, you got anything to say about that before we say goodbye?
You know, hey, like I said, it's really hard before, you know, with the end. You talking about for the Indians?
Yeah, the Indians.
I mean, you know, it's really hard with them, man, because you know what? They go up and down, and sometimes, you know, the thing with the Indians, they go strong in the beginning, but then after that All-Star break, that's when they start sliding.
They fall off.
They
fall off. Yeah, they fall off. So, well, let's see what's going to happen this season. Let's hope they finish all the way through. Let's hope the Browns take 9 or 7, like you said, or 15, like Sean over here, hit the pipe. So we gonna have to talk to you a little bit later, Maurice.
Thanks, man. Let me just. All right, thanks, Maurice, for calling into the show. Let me tell everybody right now, our Cleveland Browns are going to really set it out, okay? And I do not like Sax Man on the show
talking about his Browns,
acting like that he don't know what's wrong, okay? Because we just don't allow it. Now, I think Cleveland is going to be great this year.
Okay.
And by great, you mean win at least 6 or 7 games.
No,
at least 7 games. At least
I would be.
That'd be great compared to last couple seasons, last few.
You in Believe Land?
1-35.
What do that red hat say over there on the stand? You in Believe Land, baby?
No doubt. I mean, look, I want to see it too. I want to see him go.
I want to see it before I
want to go.
die.
I want to see him go from not winning a game last season to winning
all
every game
That's right.
and the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
I want to see that history.
Miami did it.
I just don't think it's
Miami did it.
Likely.
Miami did it.
Well, let's get Cleveland.
You have to take it one step at a time. You go from poor. You go from the bottom of the barrel to middle ground.
Why we got to walk? Why can't we just
get
up and run?
But that's just the way the natural process usually
Why
goes.
can't Mayfield be the great white hope we've been looking for?
I'm not saying he
can't.
can't.
Great white hope we done had.
Maurice might be right about Hugh Jackson being a good coach because he done made the cut so far. Usually they be one and done.
Wait a minute. Tim Couch was the great white hope.
Wait a minute.
That didn't work. Tim Couch
was.
Wait
a minute. Dez Bryant might come in to be the next Paul Warfield.
You might be right, and I want to see it. I'm just being what you might call a little more realistic.
Then y'all might be asking the question.
I'm just being a little bit more realistic.
You might be asking the question.
I'm gonna be asking the question.
Who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out?
Okay, that's the question.
Hey,
come on.
Hey, I want to see it happen. I want to see it. Make me a believer.
Yeah,
make me a believer.
Make me a believer.
Right now. I'm a believer that they can win
Pittsburgh,
6 games.
Wait a minute. Before Pittsburgh won their first 2 Super Bowls back to back, they was the doorstep of the NFL. Everybody kept saying it can't happen. Look what happened.
Well, that's ancient history.
The
game has evolved.
Look at Tom Brady. Look at Tom Brady. Everybody said it can't happen. Look what happened.
He been winning like a motherfucker.
Okay.
Tom Brady is the greatest ever.
And he came in after Bledsoe got hurt and never went back out.
Yeah.
Okay, Mayfield coming on the Browns. There's only one way for my Browns to go. Right. They sitting in the mud in the bottom of the hole.
Manziel is. I couldn't think of his name. Manziel.
There's only one way for us to go, Sax man. That's up. Okay, we can't go down no further.
Well,
Manziel was the great white hope.
Quicksand goes down.
See.
If he didn't have his troubles with substance, abuse, Manziel would have did some great things.
Manziel wasn't even.
He would have did some great things.
He should have never got drafted. Never in the world should he got drafted.
Sean cold. That's cold, Sean.
I'm telling y'all right now, I am not going to have y'all on the air talking about my Browns, but I want everybody to go watch the Cleveland Browns. Matter of fact, they're on the air right now.
Who are they playing tonight?
Yeah, who they playing?
I think Philadelphia.
Okay.
Matter of fact,
the reigning champs.
Talk to
okay, this might be a good test of what they're gonna look like
because
this year against the reigning champs.
If they can break the wings off the Eagles, they might can do something.
The thing I don't like about the preseason is that they don't play. You know, they play like the second and third strings. They don't. So it's not really a true measure of how they gonna look when the season starts. You know, so it's not. That's why they can go undefeated in the preseason and not win a single game. It always happened that way.
Season. Remember last year they won 4 games in a row before the postseason started. I mean, you know, before the regular season, and came in there and didn't win shit.
Right. Right. Oh, they playing the Buffalo Bills. They better win this game.
They playing Buffalo tonight.
Man, they kicked ass all from the beginning, and then when it was time where it really meant something, they didn't come out the damn dugout. I mean, not the dugout. They didn't come out the goddamn locker room with their cleats on. It's like they went to sleep, and that was all she wrote.
You know what? Have you been, Sean? Have you been watching Hard Knock Life?
You know, I watched a little bit about that, and I love Hard Knocks sitting here in Cleveland. Yeah. And that's real good when they get on the inside, so you can really see what's going on. But see, the problem that I have was like last week when the players started fighting and getting all mad and all upset because really say that for the game.
It's getting ghetto now, ain't it?
Well, that's the reason why they can't. See, when this is what I know or what I believe about these professional sports. Like when you have a team that's like you look at one team like let's say basketball for instance. You know, you have a team like the Warriors.
Oh, the Browns play tomorrow. The Browns don't play today. They play tomorrow.
Oh damn! Okay. You had me already to go to the bar and watch the game.
But you don't need to be at the bar anyway, Saxon, man.
Why not? I'm about to take my date out, man. I gotta take it somewhere.
Well, that way you can concentrate on impressing the young lady.
Right.
And
well, I was gonna use the Browns. I was gonna use the Browns impression.
But no, that would have been a bad.
That'd have been disaster.
So listen. This is what I wanted to say about like these professionals. Like all of these are top notch. Athletes, like top tier, top of the line athletes. When you have a team that, and I'm not even gonna say no name, mention these teams. When you have teams that are just bottom of the barrel, like they look like they don't even belong in the league, it's not because the players aren't talented. It's because of the chemistry of that organization, all the internal things, bad management, bad culture within the team. You know, that's the reason why they lose. Those players don't get along. They have the petty clashes or whatever. And, you know, and that's just human. That probably goes on with everybody. But when it gets to overwhelming and it's rampant, not just between the players, but between the whole organization, management, and, you know, the executives and whatever.
That's ego tripping,
man. That's why they can't compete. You know, like a team like the Warriors, you could look at them, you could just tell like they have chemistry and harmony and the culture, like it's all brotherhood with them.
Calm, you know? They relax.
Ain't nobody greedy or selfish or trying to get all the credit or get all the fame.
And if you notice how they play so relaxed.
Yeah.
You know, I look at how they play. I'm like, damn, they make their shots. They so relaxed. They laugh. They have a good time. They ain't looking at each other like and looking at hard that stress look. They so relaxed.
Right.
I'm like, why we can't be like that?
Yeah. You know, some people got to get their egos in check.
That's what I'm saying. They get ego tripping, man.
But you know what? Tone the Stone and everybody, the Cleveland Browns is playing the Buffalo Bills tomorrow at 7:30. And everybody, I want you to listen to this.
Fan base is big, I can't lose. Sugar bow down, I'm the next to root, but I'ma stay on the cool, remain on the under, cause like Andre 3000, your boy's ice cold. Ain't no limit to the gimmicks and ways to make money. No limit to the just to act funny when you get that cake, cause you spit that way. They may love you tomorrow when they hate you today, but yo, that's the way the story goes, so I was told. Following the ramble down the yellow brick road, but please believe at the end ain't no pie to go. Just some platinum beats from the Cleveland streets.
Right here on Stop the Madness, keep it 100, Tone the Stone. What you gonna say before we get up out of here?
Good luck to the Cleveland Browns. Good luck to the Cleveland Indians. God help the Cleveland Cavaliers. Thanks for listening, everybody out there. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, Studio 51, another episode of Stop the Madness, keep it 100. I think we're doing our relationship hour next week.
I think relationship, I don't know yet.
Yeah,
it depends on what's happening with Trump.
Tune in and check that out. Ain't nobody worried about Trump.
Hey,
be the same old
Tone the
Trump.
Stone says that he want to do the relationship hour. We have to think about that. But our man on the beat, Sax Man.
Yes, sir. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. STMK Radio 100. Thank you, Facebook, and my friends on Facebook Live checking in. Dante, Linda, Martel, Maurice. Who else on here? There's a bunch of people on here. Jamie, Tommy. Oh, what's up, Tommy? Cedric, Raytheon, all you crazy fools on here. Mariah Crenshaw, how you doing? I want everybody to tune in next week. Next week is going to be great. I want to say I'm sorry what's going on in East Cleveland. I hope they get their things together.
Hey, when you look at all this, people, we had our part 3 of the city of East Cleveland. We really talked about that. That situation is sad. Really, when it's a black community, all of us need to get together, sit down with the activists, and we need to come up with a decision and something to help our people and help our city. Hey, go Browns. You know I love my Cleveland Browns. I want everybody to watch tomorrow. And everybody, thank you for watching us. Stop the Madness. Keep it 100. And until next time, peace. See ya.
You've been listening to Stop the Madness. Keep it 100 on STMK Radio.